What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of A Dairyman's Diary with myself, Will. We have just parked up the Dominator. Get myself out of my hedge here. Frustratingly, it is blue skies. It's rather nice and warm. But this is just not quite fit enough. We went through a little bit. We've got a few headlands taken off here. But yeah, we're going to just have a drive around, show you some parts. It's still high teens, low 20% in some spots. So what we did when we're going around there, we're going to just have a drive around the edge of the field here and show you what I mean. We've got about, oh no, maybe half a trailer load in the back here. Not a great deal at all. But we just noticed that it was getting a bit sticky in places. It wasn't coming off the... we had the grain loss monitors were kind of spiking a little bit. We were getting quite a high quantity of grass going through the back end, which we didn't want. Quite a lot. Cut that bit out. We were getting quite a large amount of grain going through the back end, which we really didn't want to see. And when we had when I stopped and had a look, this kind of this side of the field, so you can see on the left that we've left there, that's 23% in there, so we've left that for good reason. We're down about 20 along the edge here. It's still a bit too high for my liking. And then the same at this bottom end in the dike along here, it's still a bit high as well. So we're going to leave that for now. Part of the combine up there, we've got some straw we can get baled in the next door field though, so we're going to jump on with that, get that all stacked up in the field. We'll get a cart in at some point soon, but for now we'll just get it into some stooks in the field and we'll keep it off the ground. But yeah, it's a bit frustrating because it's all just a bit too wet along here. I don't know if it's because in places it's got a little bit too much shade and it just hasn't quite dried out quite enough there, but yeah, we'll have to come back to that. Good news is though, we've got a nice dry breeze coming through it today, and the sun is shining like I mentioned there, and it's due to continue as well for the next few days as well, so all being well, it can knock a few percent off over the course of the rest of the afternoon and tomorrow morning, and if it does, then you never know, we might get into this tomorrow afternoon. But we'll have to wait and see and just play it by ear there. For now though, we are going to get ourselves back to the yard. We'll get this tipped and then we're going to have a look into, I want to get this all kind of baled up in this field at least. And then we'll get it all worked out there. Let's just get this forward going a bit. There we go. But I mean, at least we've made a start. That's all we can ask for to begin with. At least we've got ourselves going. It's coming through quite well so far as well. This first field came off very well. About 15 and a bit percent really, so I really have no qualms about that. Just that last field's not doing us too many favours. What we're going to do though, we're going to get this tipped into the grain store. We'll get this pushed up as well, just so it's all neat and tidy. And yeah, just a few little jobs really, just to keep us going. But yeah, it's always a shame. We do have to kind of, because it's spring barley and spring wheat we've got in the ground this year, we've got to kind of take our chances with what we can. So with that, you know, it does mean that you get some pretty rough percentages, but even at 13% we don't really have much of a grain dryer here. We just have a cooling store really. As you can see, we've got fans all across the building here, so we can pump out any of the hot air, the moisture laden air. But yeah, we don't really have the ability to dry the grain, so we've got to be quite careful with that. Just going to try and get ourselves kicked into the corner here. Okay, so we'll get this all tipped out, and then we'll put the grain pusher onto the front of the JCB quickly. We'll get that done before we start to go and get some bales out. So we'll come back to you in just a little while. Alright folks, welcome back. We've got our pusher on the front, as I like to call it. Some would refer to it as a grain leveler. But it works very well when we're in tight little confines such as these grain stores here, because it just allows me to be able to kind of shove everything back over a little bit there and get it pushed up high. We've got quite a bit of space we can use in terms of height, but we can't always tip it into the trailer there. So we'll get this done. Doesn't take too long just to keep on top of it. And then, yeah, like I say, once we do, we can just keep it all kind of nice and neat, nice and tidy. There we go. It saves us if we tip too many loads and you end up coming out the front door here, which is never ideal. Okay. haven't got a great deal in here so far. There's probably going to be in the region of about 25 ton, I would suggest. Maybe a little bit less. But again, we kind of... The primary reason for us to produce cereal crops is for the straw that it produces, and that's what we're about to go and start doing now. So we'll leave that here for now. In fact, now what we'll do, we'll put that in the next door bin, just so we don't have to worry about moving it again when we come to tip. So I guarantee I'll forget, and I'll probably end up either tipping 10 ton of barley over the top of it, or driving into it with the trailer. One or two. Neither of which are things that I particularly want to do today. So we'll leave that there. Go park up the telehandler for Greg to use later on. And then we can start baling some more straw to fill up the shed with, really. So we'll jump into the massey. We're going to get that field all baled up, I should imagine. Shouldn't take us too long at all. Let's just open this up. There we go. Perfect. So the massey has been sat on the baler since the hay, really, giving it a bit of a blowdown on the baler, made sure everything's looking good. Give it a bit of a grease up was needed as well, but nothing too severe. And yeah, let's get after it, I think. Perfect stuff. So I'm hoping we get a fair few bales off here. It's not the world's biggest field by any stretch, but it looked like it had a good load of straw in there when we started it, so we're going to have to get stuck into it from the very edge of the field here. And be careful as we start not to damage the pickup. There's a little bit of a rise there in the field as well. Just lift it up a bit. There we go. Perfect. Alright, we're on to the straw, ladies and gentlemen. First time this year for us. We'll get this all rattled out here nice and quickly. So it's always a nice feeling to get into some straw ground at least. All covered up here pretty quickly as well. So I hope you're all doing very well. Whatever you may be getting up to, I hope this finds you well indeed. Thank you very much for checking out another episode of A Dairyman's Diary. Really do try and cover across everything. At the moment there's a lot of this time of year does mean that, you know, we're stuck behind the baler a lot, doing a lot of bale or grass work, and so it's, you know, I try and capture it from different angles, make it a little bit of a different concept. But yeah, there's sometimes just things that we have to cover, really. That being said, though, we're getting through everything nicely. The grass is growing along leaps and bounds now, actually. Really starting to look very good. We should get another good crop of probably second cut hay. We've got a lot of grass on the ground at the moment, a lot of silage ground, so we might get some good hay picked up sooner rather than later as well, which would be fantastic. But for now, we're just going to keep trundling around this field. We'll get this all rattled out nice and quickly, and see where it leads us from here, I would imagine. Not the world, like I say there, it's not going to take us too long to get this all done, but we will come back in, depending on how many bales we have. We'll either just stack them in the field for now, and leave them there, or we'll just stick them straight down into the shed, I would imagine. But so far, I don't even think we've got one in the corner there. Not a great deal. We are expecting another load of straw coming through soon from the UK, from England. Just over the border with us here in Wales, so that's going to arrive sometime soon, whenever that young chap can get it all put onto a lorry for me. I've got a lorry driver ready to go. He's going to bring it back from over there. He lives quite local to us. But yeah, all we're kind of really waiting on there is just the word go from me and from him, because he needs to be there to load it all up as well. But after that, we'll get this all covered up here, get this all baled out. What I will do now is just keep rattling through this, see how we get on. The straw in the field next door is a little damp. I'm not sure if we'll go give that a bale. We might just leave it on the ground for now and then get it all picked up later on. I don't want to drop any big Heston bales in the way. That's my problem. If we can leave it, I'd rather leave them on the ground until we go in there to bale the whole field. Just because those things are a pain to have to steer around when you're in an old combine like ours. But nonetheless, we'll get this all done here, and then we'll yeah, we'll come back to you and just see how we're looking all at the end there, I should think. And so we're just taking off the last few rows here. We're weaving in and out, taking every other row so far, so it's a nice easy turn. Quite a bit of dust coming off here, which is good. Indicates it's got a little bit of dryness to it there. But yeah, nice to get it all baled up for a small field. There's quite a few bales in here. Not too disappointed by the number of bales at all. And yeah, we'll get these all. I think we'll just today, I'm going to just stack them in the field, get some of them off the ground, get them off the damp ground overnight. From about kind of 6-7 PM now, as we are getting towards the end of August, we are starting to get quite a few damp evenings, so I don't want to leave all these bales on the floor. And yeah, we'll get them picked up, and then that can be the best thing for them, really. And then we'll hopefully, all being well, like I mentioned, this field next to us will have dried down a little bit by tomorrow, so we can get this all cleared out. And I'd like to get that done, and then we'll be good to go from there. But yeah, we're just about to finish here. We'll go and park the tractor and baler up, and hey, do you know what? We'll even bring the telehandler in and get these stacked up into the field nicely. Just getting out of the way as I say that. But that is us all but done. So we need to get those. Clear those bales out of the back. One says they're empty, and we'll go and just stick this back into the shed. Needs a bit of fuel, so we'll probably just stick it around the corner actually for now. As you can see, the baler got a nice kind of blow down there and a bit of clean off after the hay was finished. It's looking fantastic for it as well. I do like to make sure everything is looking good and is well looked after, particularly this time of year when it is our busiest time. What we'll probably do is just stick the baler in a little bit out of the way. Can't really leave everything around here. Do you know what? No, we won't. We'll just swing it around and park it out of the way here for now. Too many machines. I need to get some of this equipment moved up to the new shed that's all finished, but again, it just comes down to a matter of time, really, and predominantly a lack of it today. Square this all up and stick it here. And into the JCB that's become rather loud of late. I have a fear that the I might be losing the exhaust on here sooner rather than later. It needs to be tuned up a little bit. Maybe get that exhaust taken off and have a look at, I think. Put the bales back on the front anyway. And away we go. A lot of people have been asking and commenting how much they like the JCB. It's a fantastic machine, it really is. It's in great condition. As I've mentioned previously, this is the workhorse of the farm. There's absolutely no way we can afford to just let this kind of be neglected, really. So that's why we put a lot of time and effort into making sure it works well. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take these bales probably... I think we'll just stick them kind of up the hill here a little bit. Away from the main road and build ourselves a little bit of a straw wall. No, we're not gonna stack. I don't know when we'll get to move these, so we're not gonna stack them directly one on top of each other. We'll stagger them a little bit, just to give them a little bit of extra structure. I doubt they'll be here for too long, but you never know. Just makes it not. I always like, and it also means that if we get this cleared, you know, we can always start working on the field. This is going to be going into winter barley, so we need to get this ploughed over pretty well. I say pretty quickly. It needs to be relatively soon, so we can get a look at it for the winter crops. We'll be drilling those in ourselves. So yeah, it's always nice to try and get that done quicker, sooner rather than later. But yeah, for now, you know, we just don't have the time really, or the machines, because they're all being worked with for harvest. So put that down to one of those jobs that will get done soon, I suppose. Of course, the thing is as well, when you have a large volume of dairy cows like we do, I still have to devote a little bit of my time to making sure they're all milked properly in the morning. Greg can do a good job, but he's not necessarily starting his day every day in first milking time, so I come in and do that for the most part, and then, you know, make sure everything's done. He takes over after that, really. So I can't get as much work done in the day as perhaps I'd like on the arable, because sometimes I have to drop onto other livestock work. That's where Dad comes in quite often, and he'll get everything done for me. He likes to sit in the tractor these days and just kind of get the fields worked over. Lovely stuff. So this is all coming along very nicely. We've got these two stacked up. There's a few clouds, they're like heavy, ominous looking clouds in the sky. We're still not due any rain, so I don't know what that's doing here, but never mind. We'll just have to kind of work around that and hope that we don't get any rain. Like I say, we're definitely not forecast for it. Before I get these straw bales all stacked, I might get a bit of a tidy up going in that shed. I want to shuffle a few things around a little bit, so I might do that before we start to stack some straw. Once we get some of this, or the spring barley probably done, I might look into trying to get some of the machines shifted up to the proper shed. And then that'll allow us some time to get cracking with the rest of the work. There you go, that's it, nice and steady. So what I'll do, I think, so we're quite far away here, I'm going to just grab a couple. Quickest thing I always do when I'm stacking bales is just give the bale I'm about to pick up a bit of a shunt width from the bale I've got on the forks, because that gets everything lined up nice and neatly. Gets it all square. And the way back we go. Lovely stuff. We'll get these last few stacked up here, and then I think we're pretty much done for the day, really. It's a shame. It's still nice out. I might come up and just check over the combine, make sure it's all working well after its first kind of, well, first bit of hard use, really. It is a bit of a shame that I couldn't really put it into some real work, but hey, that's life, really, I guess. That's how it all goes. But yeah, we're going to have a look into that one, and we'll see where it goes from here. So what we are going to do, we're going to just get these last couple of bales cleared, and then we will crack on with the rest of the day. So thank you ever so much for watching. As always, I do hope you have enjoyed. I have been Will, your humble host, here on A Dairyman's Diary Series 2, and we will see you in the next one. So until then, do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing as always, but most importantly, happy farming.